What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. Multiversus mid-season patch should be next week. They haven't actually officially announced that it's the mid-season patch. At least I couldn't find it on any of their socials anywhere, but it should be next week with Beetlejuice and everything. So there's some things that they really need to address, and luckily they have told us that they will have some talking points coming up, and that's what this video is gonna kind of dive into in just a couple minutes. But quick recap in case anybody missed this yesterday. Beetlejuice had his gameplay trailer, which looked pretty fun. He's an assassin, so that kind of caught me by surprise. I thought he'd be a bruiser, but you know, I guess we have enough bruisers currently on the roster, but Beetlejuice looks pretty cool. They did announce his voice actor, Christopher Swindle, and I did recognize the name. He actually voices Sully in Disney's Speedstorm, so if anybody's played that and seen that name, well, there you go. I also watched Digimon, not that anybody asked, but yeah, he voices a couple Digimon, like Wormmon, I think he's like Tentomon, Garurumon. Again, nobody cares, but I'm just throwing that out there, so kind of cool to see his name attached to Beetlejuice. I think he did a pretty bang-up job there, so cool on that. Had to bring that up. But Beetlejuice coming next week, and if it is, again, the mid-season patch, that's not the only piece of content coming to the game, because remember, we are getting a new stage in Teen Titans Towers, also coming to the game during the mid-season patch, so hopefully that's next week. So, cool. Two big pieces of content, new character, new stage, but sometimes that's not what we are focused on. There's a lot of characters that are a little OP and maybe just too good, and they need some tuning. We need some balance changes. We need some communication. What are the devs doing? What have they been working on? Will they tell us anything? Well, luckily, Multiverses happened to tweet out yesterday. Mark your calendars, an all-new Into the Verse episode with Ajax, Nakat, and Corey Thalion airs live Monday, August 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm very excited. I don't have to work that day, so, you know, I'll definitely check it out, and if there's any big talking points, I'll make another video on that day. But that's in the future. We're in the present, right? So back to what's going on. They announced a new Into the Verse episode. Very excited. Into the Verse, they do dive into a decent amount of stuff, and they let us know what's going on. So with that being said, Ajax then tweeted at least something we can expect to hear from during the Into the Verse stream, where he tweeted out, make sure to tune into the stream for the deep dive into the Ghost with the Most. And then they also have quite a few big combat changes to discuss, so you will not want to miss it. That's actually probably what I'm looking forward to the most. What combat changes is he talking about? And that's where, well, that's what this video is ultimately gonna be about in the first place. So I'm glad that we got a little bit of communication out there on what to expect, or at least topics that are gonna be discussed. So combat changes. Here's just a couple ideas that, or not ideas, here's a couple topics that I truly hope get talked about, maybe even shown off. Maybe they've been working on this, or maybe they're still kind of working it out and figuring it out. But either way, they need to at least mention it, or at least show us that they've made progress on changes. And the first combat change, I think a lot of people would agree, hitboxes. Mentioned this in the video the other day, but hitboxes are absolutely crazy. Samurai Jack doing a move, and it's not just Samurai Jack, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of characters. They face to the right, they do an attack, and somehow my character standing behind them to the left is getting hit, and it doesn't look, the move animation doesn't match up at all, and it's like, how am I getting hit? So hitboxes, hopefully there's something that they can tell us that they're addressing these. They're looking forward, or the devs are looking more into hitboxes to match animations better. You know, there's nothing worse than trying to go to punish your opponent and say, like, again, they're facing the wrong way, and you're gonna go knock them, you know, crazy. You're gonna try to ring them out, but all of a sudden you get hit from something that looks like it wasn't even there. So hitboxes definitely should be high up on the priority list for the devs, just in my opinion. So hopefully that's something they talk about. Combat change number 2 that I really hope they dive into a little bit more. There's a lot of characters. I mean, hitboxes need some changing, but what about more end lag and whiff recover? There's too many good characters in ranked right now, and we all come across, if you play ranked, you're gonna come across the same, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters like all the time, and so many are so good that they could throw out one of their best moves, miss, throw it out a second time, miss, and still somehow appear to have an advantage, and then they just go crazy from there. So more powerful moves need their more additional end leg, in my opinion, but with recovery as well. If you miss an attack and you're trying to go for a KO, and it's like, all right, you missed, so I should be able to take advantage of your miss. You shouldn't be able to turn around like that, and all of a sudden you're just, oh, you missed, but you somehow have the advantage. Makes no sense. So hopefully this is another thing that they can bring up and talk about. But the one that man, there's a lot that I hope they change and bring up and talk about. But the one that I truly hope they talk about, dodging. Please, I'm not the only one. I know, I've seen the comments all the time. My videos, Twitter, all over the place. You go and press the dodge button. You see your character move. You see the prompt that says dodge in-game on your screen, but somehow you still got hit with an attack. How does that make sense? And it's not even like a multi-hit attack. It's just one swing and a miss. You dodge, but then you somehow still get hit by it. So is it lingering hitboxes? Is that an issue? Maybe. But dodging. How can we solve a dodging issue? My first thought would be increase dodge distance. But then again, we had the whole jab dodge thing earlier in the game. And does that kind of bring that back if you increase ground and air dodge distance? I don't know. Maybe you bring back infinite loops unintentionally. So you got that to kind of think about. But maybe I don't know. Maybe dodging has more end lag after you get it. Maybe you get more distance. You know, you travel further when you dodge, but you're going to be more vulnerable, and you're not going to be able to regroup as quickly. So maybe farther distance, but you got a little bit more of an invulnerable state after you dodge. But at least if I dodge far enough where I know I hit the dodge button, I see the dodge prompt, and at least if I go past the attack, I'm able to kind of, get back into the fight a little bit. So maybe distance traveled, but additional end leg, maybe that's one way to approach it. But dodging, I hope, is one of the things. Even something, I know this might not be the best fix, but what about bringing back one of their old perks, additional dodge distance? What if that was a perk? I know that might be a little OP, but again, got to figure out the logistics of it. How far is too far? How fast is too fast? But again, maybe end leg to try to balance things out. But either dodging, please needs to be addressed. If that's the only thing that they bring up, I'll be happy. I will be happy. Just say dodge is getting fixed. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear personally. But that is going to be it for me for this one. Just let me know what your guys' hopes are for Into the Verse next week. Again, the mid-season patch should be Tuesday with Beetlejuice, and then hopefully the new stage and, well, the new Rift as well. So got that to look forward to. But that is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully we're working towards a better Multiverses, well, next week.